Good morning, DFC, or good afternoon, whenever you're viewing this video, and welcome to our first OSSLT practice lesson. So today we're going to be learning how to do the reading a news article part of the literacy test. If you haven't watched the video about the literacy test or look at the slideshow, it is a full day test that is a graduate requirement of Ontario high school students. So if you're in grade 10 or 11, you'll be writing the test this year, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So on the test, you'll have a news article. And for the practice assignment, the news article looks like this. The news article will just be one page. So just like this, it'll have a headline, may have a picture, and then it'll have some text. And these little numbers here, they just refer to paragraphs that they're talking about. So here are the instructions. First one is watch this video. Whoever doing that, great job. Second one is read the one-page news article and its questions, and complete the questions 1 to 6 on the following slides by next Wednesday's session. So there's 5 multiple choice questions and 1 short answer question. So just do that. You don't need to hand it in. But if you do need help, I'll be available online. But just do that by next Wednesday. So here are the questions. I suggest reading these before reading the article. So a hotly debated question in paragraph 4 is a question that is what? So paragraph 4, that just lets you know to pay special attention to this paragraph right here. Why is Marco Polo mentioned in the news report? So you want to pay attention to the name Marco Polo. And his name is located right here. The information in paragraph 4 is organized too. So 3 questions already deal with paragraph 4. What evidence do researchers consider most convincing in answering the question of the origin of noodles? And the archaeologists described in this selection, what did they do? And for these short multiple choice questions, you want to answer the most correct answer. So once you've read the questions and the instructions, read this article. And this is just, if you were to write this in person, this is what the short answer would look like. So I'm going to get to the short answer part now. So I've not only given you the questions, I've also given you the answers, but I do want you to try answering the questions first. So for example, you could just highlight what you think the answer is. Ooh, yellow is not good. But a hotly debated question, according to paragraph 4, is, well, it's D. So you could highlight that as a visible color. So the answers are on slides 7 and 8. You can see them here. But now I want to talk about how to write a short answer question. So on the actual test, if you were to write it, you'll be given 6 lines and a question and a space to write it. So explain whether this archaeological find settles a historical question about who invented pasta. Use specific details from the selection and your own ideas to support your answer. Okay, so you'll be writing it online, which means they'll give you 4 lines to write a short answer. Now, this will be long enough to write 3 to 4 sentences, 3 minimum. And you should organize your answer in the following way. Your first sentence should be your answer, where you just provide your opinion. I believe that blank, blank, blank. In your second sentence, you want to prove. So this is called the answer, prove, explain method. So you want to provide evidence or proof to support your opinion. And then finally, you want to explain how your proof, in blue here, is related to your opinion, which is green. So red takes blue and green and combines them together. So I'm going to show you an example of a short answer question right here. So this is a question from a previous year's test, and it was something that anyone can answer. If you could visit any place in the world, where would you want to go? Now, you may think, oh, I want to go to Japan. I'll just put Japan. Yeah, that kind of answers the question, but it doesn't give any reasons for why you want to go to Japan. So here's how I would like you to organize your answers. I would like to travel to the Antarctic if I had the money and time to do so. So in green, we've answered the question. I've given you my opinion. I want to go to the Antarctic. Now, I'm going to give you some reasons why. Not only is it home to emperor penguins and massive glaciers, but it's also a location of scientists from around the world studying climate change. So that's my proof. Those things are all factually correct. They are true. Now I want to explain how my proof supports my opinion here in green. I think it would be fascinating to visit a place that is unlike any other in the world if I had the opportunity. So I'm saying that the Antarctic is unique. You can find glaciers all over the world, but you can't find scientists studying climate change, penguins, and glaciers all in the same location. That is only done in the Antarctic, which is why I want to visit there. So I did it in 4 lines in 3 sentences. So if you answered a question like this on the actual literacy test, you would get a perfect scoring answer. And I'll show you what those scores look like. So the question for this week is, explain whether this archaeological find settles a historical question about who invented pasta. So this is about the article. Use specific details from the selection and your own ideas to support your answer. This is an example of a code 10, which is the lowest scoring answer. So it's only higher than if you left it blank, but this is a bad score. So this is an actual student's answer, not from this school, but this is an Ontario student. I don't think this archaeological find settles a historical question because I think pasta was invented in Italy. Well, that just states an opinion. There's no proof, there's no explanation. It's just, I think pasta is invented in Italy. Well, if you read the article, this lets me know that the student didn't actually read the article. Because if they did, they would have a different answer. So that is called the code 10. That is the lowest scoring answer. You don't want to answer your questions like that. Let's look at one that's better, but not quite where you want to be. It is hard to determine the answer to this argument. The discovery of ancient noodles in China helps to support them. But if the Italian records can be proven true and legitimate, the Italians have the victory. If not, then the Chinese. So they provided an answer. They provided some proof, but they didn't explain how the proof is related to the answer. Before I show you the highest scoring answer, I want us to do that on our own. And then we'll compare what an actual high scoring answer looks like. So explain whether this is related to this news article here. So I'm going to color code mine. So your first sentence should be answer. So just watch what I'm doing. I believe that this sorry, I do not spell the word archaeological very often. Worst comes the case scenario, spell check. Yes. Does settle the origin or the question about pastas. So in this sentence, I'm saying that it does settle the question. So that is my answer. You don't have to write answer here. I'm just doing that to show you. So now I want to offer my proof. So the find in question Now, what they did find was a 4,000-year-old bowl of noodles in Western China. Noodles that was discovered in Western China, which predates pasta's supposed Italian origin by Marco Polo. This will make more sense once you read the article. In the 13th century. So that's my proof. And you can find this proof in the article once you read it. So now I want to explain how this, in blue, supports green, my opinion. I'm going to color that red. The fact that the Chinese discovery is millennia past Italian history means that it is in fact a Chinese Italy's common association with the dish. All right, so I have 4 lines here and 3 sentences. My answer in green, proof in blue, and explanation in red. So in total, it says, I believe that this archaeological find does settle the question about pasta's origin. The find in question involves a 4,000-year-old bowl of noodles that was discovered in Western China, which predates pasta's supposed Italian origin by Marco Polo in the 13th century. The fact that the Chinese, I should put discovery, is millennia. Millennia is just the plural form of millennium. Millennium is 1,000 years. So this is more than 1,000 years. 4,000 to be exact. Older than pasta's Italian history means that it is in fact a Chinese invention despite Italy's common association with the dish. So that's the one I created. Now let's look at what an actual student wrote that got a perfect scoring answer. This archaeological find settles a historical question about who invented pasta. So pretty much the same as our first sentence. Before archaeologists found the 4,000-year-old noodles, the only evidence was from ancient menus, personal accounts, or written documents. The fact that the noodles were 4,000 years old and Polo didn't bring noodles to Italy until the 13th century proves that the noodles were invented by the Chinese. So they pretty much say the same thing as we did, but we still have our proof, or our answer, our proof, and our explanation. So what I'd like you to do is, in this section right here, come up with your own high-scoring answer of 3 sentences, 4 lines. If you're able to do that, you should get what's called a code 30, which is the highest scoring answer for a short answer question. All right, so there's just 5 multiple choice, 1 short answer, and just try to complete. It should take you about 40 minutes. You don't need to hand it in, but this is practice for the actual literacy test where you'll be given a lot of multiple choice questions and a lot of short answer questions. So I'm just showing you how to answer the multiple choice and the short answer. If you have any questions, I'll be online during our designated time. Please refer to the schedule on the Google Classroom for it. And otherwise, have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.